Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive economic powerhouse, the Indian state of Maharashtra. If you've ever wondered how certain regions manage to just pull in absolutely staggering amounts of wealth and industry, while other places really struggle to keep pace, you're going to find this explainer absolutely fascinating. We're going to focus on the hidden, foundational force that's driving all of this forward. It's something the data refers to as the infrastructure magnet. Okay, so here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at Maharashtra's economic powerhouse status, and then we'll define exactly what this infrastructure magnet is. From there, we'll break it down into its two core pillars: building economic infrastructure and investing in social infrastructure. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Maharashtra's economic powerhouse.
So, to really grasp the sheer scale of the infrastructure we're talking about, we first need to establish exactly why Maharashtra is our prime case study today. It's a highly urbanized, incredibly industrially advanced engine for the entire country. According to the Economic Survey for 2016 to 2017, the state commanded a massive lead. It achieved the absolute highest growth in gross state domestic product, or GSDP, as well as the highest state per capita income when compared to other states. So it's not just growing, right? It's literally outpacing the competition, creating this intense environment that demands a really robust foundation just to sustain that kind of rapid velocity.
And honestly, nothing illustrates that velocity quite like this staggering figure. Between April 2000 and September 2017, Maharashtra saw an inflow of 611,760 crore rupees in foreign direct investment. To put that massive number into perspective for you, that represents a whopping 31% of the entire country's FDI inflow. Almost a third of all foreign investment pouring into India was choosing Maharashtra. That kind of sustained capital, it doesn't just arrive by accident, It requires a very specific environment.
Section 2. The infrastructure magnet. So that brings us to the most important question. What exactly makes this state the #1 investment destination? Well, the answer is captured perfectly right in our source material. Quote, "This acts as a magnet for attracting additional investment into the state and thus provides a competitive edge to it over other states." The "this" they are referring to here is a sound infrastructural foundation. Adequate facilities aren't just a nice-to-have bonus. They are the absolute baseline necessity for rapid, sustainable economic growth. It is quite literally the magnet pulling in all those billions. Now, think of this magnet as having two distinct yet completely complementary poles. On one side, we have economic infrastructure. This covers the major physical networks, things like energy grids, transport systems, and modern communication lines. On the flip side, we have social infrastructure, which focuses heavily on the human element, specifically health and education. A competitive state absolutely needs both of these poles working together seamlessly to create a true magnetic pole for long-term socio-economic development.
Moving on to Section 3, building economic infrastructure.
Let's dive into that first pole. This is basically the physical hardware of the state, the stuff that facilitates the actual physical production and distribution of goods and services, because without this, industry literally grinds to a halt. To keep the engine running, the government rolled out a massive multi-pronged approach. Just look at the sheer physical momentum here. We've got increasing installed capacity of electricity generation right alongside rural electrification and energy conservation programs. They also implemented modified direct benefit transfers for LPG consumers. Then there are the massive new metro railways completely transforming transit in Mumbai and Nagpur, plus port development happening through the central government's Sagarmala program. But honestly, the most staggering physical target here is the road plan. They aim to develop 3.37 lakh kilometers of road by 2021. That is a massive, sprawling web of connectivity across the entire landscape. But connectivity isn't just about asphalt anymore, right? It's digital. This number, 5.45 crore, represents the internet subscriber base in Maharashtra as of September 2017, which was the highest in the entire country. This digital communication network is a truly vital, modern layer of economic infrastructure. It's absolutely essential for enabling massive IT and service sectors to thrive, right alongside traditional manufacturing.
Which brings us to Section 4, investing in social infrastructure.
Now, steel, asphalt, and fiber optics, that's really only half the story. We have to shift our focus now to the human element, social infrastructure. This does so much more than just improve the basic quality of life. In a state with a massive young population, this is all about harnessing the demographic dividend. Social infrastructure gives people the actual power to produce knowledge, It transforms a raw population into the highly skilled human resources that are absolutely vital for long-term economic development.
Let's actually look at the hard data for a second. If we look at the primary education footprint for 2016 to 2017, the sheer scale is just immense. We're talking about 104,971 schools, serving almost 160 lakh enrolled students, and guided by 5.3 lakh teachers. That maintains a pupil-teacher ratio of about 30.1. And under the Right to Education Act, the state government poured over 19,486 crores into primary education alone in that single year. That is a massive structural financial commitment to building the state's human capital.
And of course, this massive commitment extends right into healthcare as well. The state organized its health services into a highly structured three-tier system to make sure care is comprehensive. At the primary tier, you've got thousands of primary health centers and community health centers. Moving up to the secondary tier, you've got sub-district and district hospitals. And then finally, at the tertiary tier, you'll find the really well-equipped medical colleges and super specialty hospitals in the major cities. It's a very deliberate architectural design, all meant to keep a massive workforce healthy, active, and productive.
So that brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. We've seen how both poles, the economic hardware of roads and digital networks, and the social foundation of schools and hospitals, combine to create this incredibly powerful magnet, pulling in 31% of the country's FDI. But as the population continues to surge and urbanization accelerates, the demand on both of these poles is only going to intensify. The foundation is clearly there, but it leaves us with a critical question to ponder today. As this economic powerhouse continues to expand, can the infrastructure magnet scale fast enough to keep up, or will the very growth it attracted become its greatest test? Think about that as you consider how cities and states around the world build for the future. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.